Coming up, a new Texas law contradicts an accreditation agency principles. We'll tell you how the agency responds in seconds. Plus, the City of McAllen increased its water and sewer bill by 30%. Here's what one McAllen resident has to say.
Things change over time, but a whole 30% is just absurd.
And with Barnes & Noble finding itself within the streets of Brownsville, how will the economy be impacted and how will surrounding local businesses be affected? KVAQ-TV starts now. Good morning, Vaqueros. I'm Desiree Villanueva. Today is Monday, October 27th, and this is the 9th fall edition of KVAQ-TV. Let's start today's newscast with our top story. The Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges, also known as SACSCOC, is the accreditor for UTRGV. However, SB 37's implementation nearly 2 months ago directly contradicts one of its principles.
Well, Desiree, I reached out to the accreditor, the Southern Association of Colleges and School Commission on Colleges, also known as SACSCOC, and the president, Stephen Pruitt, gave me the following statement, and I quote, SACSCOC is aware of the provisions set forth in Senate Bill 37. State legislatures are mandated to set policy for their respective state and institutions are bound to implement that policy. Therefore, SACSCOC does not hold institutions accountable when our standards are or are perceived to be in conflict with state law, end quote. The Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges, also known as SACSCOC, is the accreditor for UTRGV. According to SACSCOC's Principles of Accreditation, Section 10.4 states universities must give faculty the primary role in choosing courses for a student's degree plan. SB 37, on the contrast, has shifted the authority to the university boards for the final decision on what classes students need to take to graduate. This means faculty will no longer have a final say on which classes or material can be taught at universities. Prior to the statement from SACSCOC's president, UTRGV Vice President for University Marketing and Communications, Patrick Gonzalez, gave the following statement to KVAQ-TV. UTRGV is awaiting implementation guidance from UT System Board of Regents regarding SB 37, so I'll have to decline an interview at this time. However, we do not anticipate SB 37 having any impact on our accreditation with SACSCOC. KVAQ-TV interviewed 2 students to voice their opinion on SB 37 and its effect on curriculum.
Just because I do know that majority of the times professors do recommend some classes, and it's just helpful for you to kind of know what to expect whenever you graduate. Specifically, like what classes to take when your advisors cannot give you enough information.
I guess it would affect because the professors kind of see whatever we need support with. So let's say if somebody comes and just decides without knowing, I guess, the background of it, it might have some kind of effect. So I hope it's for the best.
As of now, we have no information on who will be a part of the university boards. Again, these university boards will decide what classes are offered and what is taught in those classes in public higher education institutions. The University of Texas system is expected to meet November 19th and 20th. KVAQ-TV will keep you updated as we receive information.
The City of McAllen recently posted an announcement on its Facebook page informing users about a 30% increase for its residents' water and sewer bills. Why the increase and how is McAllen reacting? Alec Rodriguez with the details.
Behind me is one of the City of McAllen's water treatment plants. The increase of water and sewer bills will be used to cover the funds and loans to build the new North Water Treatment Plant. With the 30% increase, McAllen residents can expect their water bill to rise by an estimated $14 a month, depending on how many gallons of water they use. Just after the announcement, several users on Facebook expressed disagreement with the increase. That's a pretty steep increase to hit us with. That isn't right, the City of McAllen. Fix the drainage issues in South McAllen is what you're supposed to do. Is the city going to make sure we have sufficient water pressure and make sure the water is actually cleaned and softened? You keep hiring the bill without any benefits for the payers. That's going to make our bill close to $90 a month, if not more, for other residents. McAllen resident and senior mass communication student Gladia Bondi shares her views on the increase.
First of all, a little increase, maybe 8% at the most, is kind of acceptable or understandable. Okay, we get it. Things change over time. But a whole 30% is just absurd. Given the fact that where we live at in this region in the valley is one of the most highly rated like poverty areas in the country. And I can speak for myself that they don't cut you slack if you're late on the bill.
Bondi says she wished the city had publicized the increase more to offer residents more time to prepare. She adds a notice was sent out to residents stating the increase would be 5% prior to the post this month, not 30%.
And I would like for them to publicize, if they're not going to warn us, at least get some other kind of resources out there for us to help us pay the bills. If they're not going to help us with, like, obviously they're going to increase it. They've already done it and go through with that. Give us options on how to keep up with that increase.
General Manager of McAllen's Public Utility, Marco Vega, explains that while it may seem like the bill is from the public utility, it only has control over 2 out of the 6 items that residents pay for. He adds McAllen's water and sewer part of the bill is below average for the valley, and that the increase depends on how many gallons of water are used by residents.
So people say, gosh, Mark, and I've heard it, you all increased our rates so much. I said, we're still below the valley average. We're not even at the average of the valley. So if you take Mission, Edinburgh, Farr, Weslaco, Brownsville, Harlingen, San Benito, North Alamo Water Supply, Agua Water Supply, if you take those utility bill averages at 10,000 gallons, we're still lower.
He says that around 85% of the increase is to help fund the new North Water Treatment Plant, and the other 15% is to pay the operational increases. He adds that the increase will also affect commercial businesses too.
The commercial rates increased by 60%, double what the residential rates increase. Commercial is such a wide range of users. Commercial means an attorney's office that has one restroom. They use maybe 2,000 gallons of water a month, which is like nothing, right? They have a small utility bill. Their increase might be $5 a month.
Vega adds that there is a chance that the water and sewer bills may decrease if Proposition 4 is approved in the November 4th election. Proposition 4 is expected to help fund the water treatment plant if the city is provided some of the funds. For KVAQ-TV in Edinburgh, Alec Rodriguez.
The new Brownsville Visual Arts facility has been delayed until 2026. Here's Ian Juarez with the story.
I'm here at the former Longoria Elementary, which UTRGV plans to turn into a new visual arts facility for students. The new visual arts building in Brownsville was set to open in December, but issues have now delayed the project to June of 2026. The School of Fine Arts Dean, Jeffrey Ward, says the reason for the delay was due to a change in general contractors.
And the delay is we had to find a new general contractor. So we had to go through the bidding process, and we found one.
UTRGV Chief Real Estate and Space Management Officer Marco Saenz shared a document from the Board of Regents meeting last February showing an approximate budget of $34 million on renovations. We have attempted to contact UTRGV Planning and Construction to ask if the delay has affected the budget, but we have not received any information as of today. Ward says the new building will be for visual arts students, especially those in Brownsville.
And the buildings are being, purpose-driven renovation so that they will be designed for art.
He explains what unique benefits the new space may bring to students.
It is also an opportunity for our Brownsville students to be able to complete their art degrees in person without having to travel. It's about a half mile from the student union, so there'll be places for students to eat. Between the student union and the new complex, there's a big parking lot, so parking is not going to be an issue.
Ward says when the building is completed, it will be a big step forward for the program.
I'm so excited for the first day of class when our students are coming onto the new facility for the first time. They're going to be amazed at what it looks like, and for generations to come.
Visual arts students are expected to have their classes in either Edinburgh or online until fall 2026 when the building officially opens. In the meantime, UTRGV is conducting faculty searches for the fall 2026 semester. For KVAQ-TV in Brownsville, Ian Juarez.
With Barnes & Noble coming to Brownsville next month, how will this move impact local businesses and can it benefit communities? KVAQ-TV spoke with the UTRGV Department of Economics chair to learn more about the effects. Victor?
Competition overall is a good thing because it makes businesses more efficient.
Bookstores are a rare sight in Brownsville. Barnes & Noble is coming to the city, following the recent opening of IKEA in Far last month. Buell, an independently owned bookstore and the only one in Brownsville, is filling a niche that has been missing in the city for years. Department of Economics Chair Gautam Hazarika explains how corporate chains can bring changes to the region.
Now, certainly the independent bookstores might face stiffer competition, but on the other hand, franchises can also create jobs in the area.
Hazarika says if jobs increase in the area, it can lead to more income for the region, which could then flow back into the local economy. He also adds that local bookstores will need to stand out in the market with Barnes & Noble to maintain business. Buo owner Gilbert Hernandez says his inventory is already different from what Barnes & Noble offers.
We have not only the newest releases, but we also have secondhand books. We have antique books. I sold a book today from the 1930s, for instance.
Although both stores offer new books and author events, Buo offers literature and works from the RGB, while also hosting community events with local poetry, music, and art.
Hazarika says he thinks that any new business coming to the area is a good thing, and adds that increased foot traffic can help nearby businesses. Hernandez shares the same sentiment, saying he feels the opening of Barnes & Noble will do the city good.
I do see their arrival as a net positive for the city, and I do think that people that will start their reading journey over there will eventually come over here.
For KVAQ-TV in Brownsville, Victor Ortega.
This week on KVAQ Sports, University Recreation gave students the opportunity to become a Vaquero champion. But first, here's Alexandra Salazar with the highlights of the weekend.
I'm Alexandra Salazar with your KVAQ Sports Update. UTRGV football took the field this past Saturday for their homecoming game against Incarnate Word. The Vaqueros took the win with a score of 56-28. The Vaqueros are 6-2 overall and 2-2 in conference. They tackle the 4-0 in Conference Stephen F. Austin this Saturday, November 1st. Over in volleyball, the Vaqueros kept their 8th straight Southland Conference win as they faced Nichols this past Saturday at 11 a.m. at the David R. Stouffer Gymnasium with a score of 3-0. The Vaqueros return back home for the South Texas Showdown match against Texas A&M Corpus Christi this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. at the UTRGV Fieldhouse. Over at the pool, the swimming and diving team finished in 3rd place at the Rice Falls Splash Saturday at the Rice Competition Pool. UTRGV women's tennis wrapped up their run at the Southland Conference Fall Championships on Friday at Northwestern State. And in soccer, the Vaqueros fell 1-0 to Texas A&M Commerce Thursday night, but will look to bounce back October 30th at 6:30 p.m. when they host Lamar at the UTRGV Soccer and Track and Field Complex. Finally, University Recreation gave Brownsville and Edinburgh students the chance to become Vaquero champion. That's a quick look at KVAQ Sports. I'm Alexandra Salazar. Last Wednesday, students gathered for the annual Vaquero Games, a spirited competition open to all students. Participants tested their strength and endurance through challenges such as rock climbing, the dead hang competition, and pace swimming. Students who earned top scores were crowned homecoming Vaquero champions. Member Services and Reservations Coordinator Christopher Den spoke on the new homecoming tradition.
The purpose of the Vaquero Games is mainly because we want to be part of the homecoming environment. The main objective is to encourage students to participate and be aware of the things that we have here.
The event brought together students not only to compete, but also to cheer on fellow Vaqueros.
Many events await UTRGV students for this spooky season. Let's take a look at what treats we're in for. Today, Sundays on Mondays start off this week's Halloween celebrations for UTRGV on the Edinburgh campus from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Wednesday brings a movie showing Coraline and a rock climbing competition in the UREC. On the same day, Brownsville will host a fitness challenge, Nightmare on Bench Street, where students who participate will test their strength in the bench press challenge. On Thursday, the Edinburgh and Brownsville campus will host a costume contest on both student unions at 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., followed by a Let's Glow dance party in the Edinburgh Student Union starting at 8:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. On Friday, October 31st, the UTRGV Theater will showcase a special performance, a chance for audience members to take part in the set itself and interact with props provided on stage. Thanks for watching, Vaqueros. Make sure to catch our next newscast at 8:30 a.m. Monday, November 3rd on VCast monitors and select social medias. For KVAQ-TV, I'm Desiree Villanueva. V's up!